Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is my March wrap up. And here is my stack of books. There is 2 books missing because they were not physical books, but this is the stack of books that I read for this month. I think I have 9. Yeah, I have 9 books. So I read a total of 9 books this month. 2 of them were audiobooks, and then 1 was a Kindle book, and the rest of them are sitting right next to me. So I'm going to start with the 2 that aren't physically here with me. The first one I read was Never Broken by Jewel, and I've actually been reading this book for about 6 months. So Jewel is one of those books that I will listen to when I can't sleep. So I'll be laying in bed, I cannot sleep. Something about her story is really inspiring and very calming. She sings the lyrics to the songs that she's writing, and it's just an all over nice book to just sit and listen to. I found that my favorite way to listen to experience nonfiction is to listen to them, and Jewel was no exception. I completely loved being able to hear her story. She grew up in rural Alaska. She went through so many trials and tribulations. She's one of those ones that had bad experiences with her parents, and she had a hard time getting her career going, and then once it was going, there were so many little pitfalls. You got to hear how she traveled the country when she was just a kid, and what it was like growing up without plumbing and having, you know, endless nights during the winter and endless days during the summer. And it was a really inspiring book. It did take me a while to listen to it because honestly I forgot about it for several months. I got so into listening to other things that I forgot that I was listening to this book. And then I was flipping through my Audible account one night when I couldn't sleep, and I found it, and I was like, oh, that's right. And I had like half of it left. And so I listened to the last half of it this month. And I truly think that if this is a book that you're interested in reading, it's very inspiring. She went through a lot of garbage to get where she is today, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful listening to her voice and beautiful listening to her sing, and it was just, I'm really curious to listen to more from Jewel because I haven't listened to her since she was a pop queen and I was in high school. So I am curious to see what she's doing now. And it reminded me of days when music was about a story and not just about the beat. And I don't know, I liked it. The second book that I read this month was Surprise Me. It is a Zoe Kinsella book. I had an arc of it that I got from NetGalley. Even though it had already been released by the time I got it, I still wanted to read it, and I was in the mood for a romance because I have some contemporaries next to me and I wanted to add a romance to my contemporary list, and that was the one I picked up. It's about this woman and this man who on their 10-year dating anniversary, they'd been married for 7 years and dating for 10. So on their 10-year dating anniversary, they went to the doctor after having a little date to find out how healthy they were. The doctor said, you're incredibly healthy and you have like 77 more years of marriage to go because that's how long you'll live. And they freaked out a little bit, and they wanted to make their marriage a little more fresh and keep it going for that 70 or whatever years it was, 67 or 77 or a lot of years. And I remember reading it thinking that it would be fun to be able to live for that long and be able to have that many memories with your spouse. And I got married when I was 18 years old, and so I have the possibility of being able to be married for 50, 60 years. And I think that's an amazing thing. They freaked out a little bit, and it was kind of fun watching them freak out, and they wanted to make their relationship fresh. So they started doing this surprise me thing where they wanted to surprise each other. And of course, the surprises got a lot of hands, and there's problems that occur and things that get found out and drama because, well, it is a romance drama type of book. But it was cute. I liked it. It definitely wasn't the best book that I've read this month, but it was still a solid read. And so I don't think I had a book this month that I disliked. There's books that I liked less, but not disliked. And this is one of the ones that I liked a little bit on the less, because it really wasn't what I expected. There was enough times where I'm just like, stop whining and go do something. So there was, it's not my favorite, but I still liked it a lot. Now to the books sitting next to me. The first book on top of the stack, these are in no particular order. I read them randomly through the month, and so therefore, yeah, I don't think this is the first book I read. I think it's like the fourth book I read. But it's Ready Player One. And I read this, listened to this, because the movie just came out. I want to say the movie came out a couple of days ago. Today's the 1st, and I think it came out on Friday. And I really, really want to go see this. This is like on the top of the list of things I want to go see. So we're going to hopefully have like a family date out and go watch Ready Player One. It was amazing. It was so good that normally with my audiobooks, I listen to them in the car, I listen to them when I work out, I listen to them when I'm doing things that would just be kind of mundane and quiet if I wasn't doing something. This is one of those ones I liked so much that I found things to do. I did my nails a couple of times while I was listening to this. I just, was cleaning my room and listening to this, and doing laundry and listening to this. Anything I could do to listen to this more, I did, because it was so good. And it's about a virtual world called the Oasis. And the man who created the Oasis had just died, and he left a scavenger hunt for the people that have Oasis games to find these Easter eggs. And if you found all the Easter eggs, you win everything. You win his entire fortune. And it's about a group of kids looking for the Easter egg with the rest of the world. It was really good. I'm really excited to see the movie. I'm blinking, so if I hang up on you, that's why. The next books I read were Becky Albertalli's Simon and the Homo versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and The Upside of Unrequited. I've been wanting to read this one forever, but I wanted to read this one first because I thought that this one, I knew there was characters that were interwoven. So Simon shows up in this one. So because he shows up in this one, I wanted to read this one first. It took Amazon forever to get it to me. Amazon finally got it to me, and I knew the movie was coming out, and I wanted to watch the movie as well, which I haven't done yet, even though it's been out for like 2 weeks. And so I picked this one up, and I flew through it. If you don't know what this is about, it's about a boy in high school who is gay but has not come out, and he has a online relationship with this guy named Blue. So Simon doesn't know who Blue is, but they know they go to school together, and he really wants to find out. But it was really cute. I liked it a lot. This is definitely one of the best books, one of the best contemporary books I've read in a while, and that's saying a lot because I've been reading some really good contemporary books lately. This one did not like as much. This one is, my brain is not even working. This book is about Molly. Molly is a twin. Her twin sister is everything she's not. Her twin sister is a lesbian. She is very outgoing, vivacious, has kissed a lot of girls. Her parents are two women, and they have a little baby brother. They're all sperm donors from the same sperm donor, so they're all related. And then the girls, the twins are from one mom, and then the little boys from the other. So that way they are all evened out, and they're one big happy family together. The diversity in the book was great. One of the moms is black, and one of the moms is Jewish. And you get a lot of little things in there. And then the Molly, she's got like 27 unrequited crushes. And her sister's goal in this entire book is to get her first kiss, to have her have a crush that does not go unrequited. It was really cute. I enjoyed it very much, but to me, it did not stack up to Simon. And so because I read them one right after the other, I judged this book on Simon, and I liked Simon more. It was still really cute. It was a really good book, and I very much enjoyed it. It's just, I enjoyed this one more. I'm definitely, yes. And I'm looking forward to Leon the Offbeat when it comes out, because it's the same cast of characters, and I can't wait to see more from them. The next book I read was The Glass Spare, and I wanted to get to this during the Owlcrate readathon thing, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to read this one. I thought it'd be really interesting, and I did like it. There was quite a vocabulary in this book. There's words in here that I've never heard of before, and I had no idea what they were, and that kind of threw me off. I had to start looking words up from a book that is a YA, and I've never had to do that in a YA book before. But the story was a little slow in spots, but the world was really interesting. It needs a map. There is no map in this book, and a map would have been so helpful because I got a little bit lost trying to figure out where they were going, because this world is made up of different islands, and it was hard to understand where everything was because we don't have a map in it. But the main idea of the book is that it's about a girl that has like a Midas-like touch. She can turn things into gems. And it's one of those powers that kind of crops up. She never had it before. She gets really stressed out one day and accidentally awakens this power. And then of course, with this power awakened, everything goes to hell. And all this different stuff happens, and it ends up being quite an interesting little ride, and one that I very much enjoyed. And so much so that I'm waiting on pins and needles for the next one, which doesn't come out until December. So I've been stalking NetGalley, and I'm hoping that I actually can find an arc of the next book in the series before it comes out, because I really want it and I don't want to wait. So it's not the best book that I read this month, but it definitely was a very good book, and I'm definitely interested in seeing where it goes. Okay, so probably the biggest letdown that I read this month was Sight Witch. So Sight Witch is a novella, and it is based off of the world for Truth Witch. It's really interesting. It talks about the 12 paladines and the history behind the Sight Witches and what happens, how it went from only 12 people having powers to everybody having powers. And it shows you the way in the past, like 2,000 years in the past. It shows you in the present, which the present takes place about 2 years before Truth Witch does. So this is a prequel of it, and it is about River, who is one of the sailors on one of the ships in the Truth Witch world. I did like it though. It just took me a while to get through. It's not a very long book, and it took me like a week to get through it. And I don't know why it took me so long. Maybe I was just really into Ready Player One while I was reading it, and so this one just didn't compare, and so it wasn't as important, so I didn't read when I was listening instead. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I did like it. It did give me some insight to the world that we've been following around in Truth Witch. It just was not quite as good as I was hoping it would be. So I am still looking forward to the next Witchlands book, but hopefully A Court of Frost and Starlight does not have the same problem this one did. And then lastly, I read all of the Court of Thorns and Roses series last month, and I very much enjoyed them. And everyone kept talking about this one, The Throne of Glass. And I had heard good things about it, I've heard bad things about it, and I've heard everything in between. But I wanted to find out for myself. I am in love with Sarah J. Maas. I want to be her best friend. I want to live inside her head. These books are amazing. I am currently on the third one. That's why I read the first two. I gave them both 5 stars because I love them so much. I love this world. I love all the characters. And if you didn't know, it's about assassins. Anything about assassins is really cool. This one is about Celine, and she is in a work labor death camp, and they pull her out of the death camp so that she can go try to be the king's champion, and she has to pass this test and compete against a bunch of people in order to be the king's assassin. And that's what this whole book is about. This is a continuation. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about them. They're so good. I like them so much. And my battery has been flashing at me for this entire video, and it looks like it made it through. So I'm going to go say goodbye now before everything dies. But I had a really good reading month this month, and I would love to hear about yours. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.